It's been over 4 years since Kendrick Lamar has dropped a studio album, and everyone has one question on their mind. Will this new album live up to the hype? Because Kendrick Lamar has almost a near-perfect track record when it comes to dropping studio albums. So today, guys, we're going to be taking you through all of the new updates for this K-Dot album. Not only that, but we're actually be answering the question ourselves. Do we think that this new album will live up to the hype? Plus, we might do some speculation at the end for some release dates. So, Lou, let me take you through this, man. Like, what do you think's going to happen, and where do you think he's going now, especially that he's starting to do shows again? He's talking, he's doing a lot of stuff. Like, we've done a lot of content, but there's still some unanswered questions here.
Speaking of that, guys, if you want to stay updated with this whole Kendrick rollout, smash the subscribe button and also the like button. It helps us reach more Kendrick fans. And of course, we will be doing an album review as soon as it does come out. But to answer your question, I just feel like at this point, he has been teasing that it will be coming out soon. But if you go back to that letter, which came out, I think, in August, he did say, as I produce my final TDE album, meaning that he was still kind of in development with it. So at first I thought it would be coming in 2021, but now I'm kind of thinking maybe towards the 2022, but we'll get into that later. But speaking on the latest updates, he just performed a day in Vegas, which is huge. He had one of the best set lists that I've seen in recent time. 27 songs, pretty much his greatest hits, everything from Section 80 to Damn. And did you see his new look?
It looks fire. Especially
looks like a wizard, man.
Absolutely. Like, the new branding is on par, and I think that it's going to translate well into the album. So speaking about this day in Vegas performance, I want to say that I've personally seen him live, and easily one of the best performances I've ever seen in my life. Plus, I do think that he's gearing up right now to get his name back and refreshed.
This is what he said. I'll take you through it. So Kendrick said, "See y'all next time, Vegas." And by next time, I mean real soon.
Tour, possibly?
Tour 2022, man.
You think so?
100%.
Okay, so you think if this goes down, when do you think it'll happen? Because, like, there's a lot of hype to live up to, and especially, like, now that time is of the essence. Like, do you think that time factor has anything to do with how the album will be received, or do you think that he could maybe even go, like, another year without dropping it at this point?
I don't think he had to even open his mouth. I think he could have done a surprise drop, and the whole industry would have been, ready for that album. And to speak on that question of, like, is he really going to do it? Is he going to do it again? That's the question, because he's shown us that he's dropped masterpieces. I mean, the way that I look at it, Good Kid, Mad City is maybe the best storytelling record of all time, arguably. To Pimp a Butterfly is maybe the best executed concept album of all time. Damn is one of the most personal albums of all time, and the only hip-hop record to actually win a Pulitzer Prize. So at this point, it's like, he's competing with himself. How could he fucking have an album that lives up to that bar that he set for himself in the 2010s decade? But he hasn't, led us astray yet. He hasn't disappointed. So I think he will live up to the hype.
I do think so too, and there was the whole point that you were making earlier this year with the alter ego, and I do think that it would be a great place to go into, because as we were mentioning, there's, like, the perspective of the homeless man that he could go into if that was something based on I believe it was the videos that we had seen him being recorded in Los Angeles. It wasn't this summer, it was last summer. So I think there could be that into play. Also, maybe, like, a gangster trying to find God and trying to find salvation in himself and trying to find that inner peace. But at this point, I think that maybe he's actually going to have fun with it, because people are questioning the flows and switches that you've heard on let's say Family Ties, or any other record that he's done with Baby
Range
Keem.
Brothers too.
The whole Top of the Morning thing has been trending. So
do you like it? Let me be real.
I think I do, because I want to see him go into a different light. Like, obviously Kendrick's subject matter is very serious. There's a lot of different conviction behind it. It's very rich in cultural history, but I think now maybe it's time for him to go into a different area, because maybe he wants to show a different side of him. Maybe he wants to share a different content side. So let me ask you that. Like, how would you feel about him maybe changing the whole way he approaches his albums now, and maybe has more fun with it, a looser feel to it? Like, would you be mad as a Kendrick fan if you got that type of album?
It's entertaining. It was fun to listen to for the features, but as a big Kendrick fan, it's not something I want. I'll be honest with you. Like, it's cool for a couple of features.
Explain why, though. Like, why
I'll
you think
explain
so?
why, because I feel like it's kind of just... I feel like it's maybe too easy for him. I feel like when he goes with those kinds of vocal inflections, yes, it's kind of goofy, and it's kind of something that's new for Kendrick, which is cool to see because he's experimenting. But at the same time, I feel like I might not get as much lyrical subject matter when he's using those voices. But I will be okay with it if it is to play an alter ego. If he's playing a character for the entirety of the album and has to use that kind of voice to do it, then I'm perfectly fine with that. And there are big talks of this alter ego, and there's good reason for it, because if you look at the way that he signed off that letter, it was signed Oklama. If you look at the Family Ties video, the teaser for that music video, it said starring Baby Keem and then starring Oklama. So Could it be the title of the album? Maybe, but I truly do think that it will be the title of the alter ego that he will be personifying. And a lot of the hip hop greats like Eminem, MF Doom, they have their alter ego albums, but Kendrick is missing that. So to me, it's really the best direction for him to go into. But regardless, like I said earlier, no matter what sound he wants to tackle, production wise too, if he wants to go on some rock beats, whatever it is, I think he'll deliver because it's fucking Kendrick Lamar.
It is.
You know
And
what
I think the comedic value is actually probably necessary at this point because I think I like the lightness of it. I think that a lot of people are taking this whole situation way too seriously, especially Kendrick fans like me, because, there's always the worry, will he deliver? Will he deliver? Will he perform? Will he, execute another masterpiece? But why are you going to question one of the greatest to ever do it, So maybe if he wants to put his new spin on comedic rap, or he maybe wants to go into that different alter ego, which has the elements of comedic rap, I would be totally open to listening to it. Because another issue I think that a lot of fans have with Kendrick's music is that it ages. It's not, I don't think it's an issue in retrospect. It's just like the music gets better with every listen. So maybe that first listen for people will be really hard to get into, because I remember when I was listening to Damn, and this is a funny story. It was with my cousin, and like the first night that we heard it, we were like, no, this is really not it. Like, I didn't fuck with it because it's funny, you have so many different prejudgments going into a Kendrick album, and I kind of want to avoid that now. I want to see what he's trying to do, because going back on what you were saying about, challenging himself and trying to go into different things, maybe this is a new challenge for him. Maybe this is a new sort of attempt, because think about it. You have all of your fan base and the whole mainstream used to a certain way you deliver music.
But isn't that fucking stupid though?
No, I don't think so. I think that it's more challenging now. I'll explain to you why. Hold on.
No, but what I'm trying to say is that, like, I don't know how as fans, like, I'm guilty of this myself. I go into a new Kendrick album somehow expecting something that maybe sounds similar to Good Kid, Mad City, but like, he never does that. He never repeats himself. He's the artist to never look back and always progress forward. And
I agree.
Not only that, but I mean, if you truly do think about it, why would you want him to, stay in that area? But he said it himself. He's like, I'm never making a Good Kid, Mad City Part 2.
No, and I don't think he should, because then, like, the artistry kind of gets stuck in the mud. Like, the impact, the evolution, it kind of gets all suppressed when you want to stay safe. And I think that for Kendrick, the one thing I want him to do, like, if I had to ask for one wish with this album, go outside of the box again, become that 5-dimensional artist that I know he is, because the way that Kendrick packages his music may, vary from album to album, but the one thing you could expect is to gain a boatload of knowledge out of his music.
Yeah.
Like, think about it, what other artist has an impact on your listening like Kendrick does, as far as knowledge goes, on spirituality, on, let's say, life events, on the way that you look at yourself, on your relationships. The way he's able to pack all of these different thematic messages into one coherent album is very fucking cool.
Not only that, but
I wanted to ask you something though,
okay,
real quick. Length of the track list. Do you think he goes for a larger track list? Like, what would you prefer as a whole? Like, now that you're maybe getting closer to it, you've seen him perform, you've heard some material. What do you think right now?
Well, I mean, Good Kid, Mad City was, I believe, 12. I think T-Pab was what? Was it 15 or 16?
I'm gonna pull them up. Keep going with them.
Anyways, no, I think it'll be his regular, duration for an album. I think 15 tracks is probably reasonable. But what I wanted to say was just the fact that I don't think that Kendrick is gonna have us wait 5 years to drop a mediocre album. Like, that's not gonna happen. That's not gonna happen, in my opinion. Not only that, but I mean, speaking on, I would say where he could go conceptually with it. I mean, like I said, those cadences aren't my favorite, and we also heard them on the snippets that kind of leaked from 2020, where he's kind of still using that playful style that he depicted on the Melodic Blue. It's not for me, but he can maybe make it work. As long as the lyrical content's there, then I'm all in for it. And I mean, apart from that, I mean, I just don't think that there's any way that he leads us astray. But my final question is, release date prediction, where are you going with this?
Okay, so release date prediction. I think that maybe he does come out in 2021. I'm still on there. I'm still on the edge. We've been calling it since the beginning of the year. Listen, I hope I'm not wrong. I really hope that we get this right, because we need new Kendrick music. And let's say some, quick predictions now, like what I have with the album. I think it will be super coherent. I think it's going to be different than anything we've ever gotten from him. Maybe lighter in approach, and I think that alter ego is going to be coming back in. But how about you? Take me through your run of it.
Yeah, I would say that I think for release date, I'm going early spring of 2022. I want it to be hopeful for the 2021 release date, but as of right now, I don't see it happening. And other predictions, I think that you will get a lot of, I would say, biblical messaging, because that's something that's, prevalent within every Kendrick Lamar album. And that's something that we love as Kendrick fans, is to have that spiritual guiding light and force within his albums. Apart from that, I would also think that this album will be better than Damn. That's my prediction.
You think so?
That's what I'm saying. I know it's hot. I think it's going to be better than Damn.
Damn is a Pulitzer winning album. It would be absolutely massive to see, especially as a Kendrick fan. You know, if you guys can't tell, you know, we've been bumping Kendrick for such a long time at this point that it's been crazy to see the artist evolution, and we're super hyped for this new rollout, guys. So on that note, thank you for watching through all of this. If you have not subscribed already, please do so, because we're going to be keeping you updated with everything Kendrick Lamar wise. So the rollout itself, the review reaction once the album comes out, and all of the post content once the album does drop. Not only that, but pre-album streaming. Like, if you guys are regulars here at NFR, we have a whole event for these types of albums. Plus, not only that, smash the like button if you guys did enjoy this video. And one last question for the viewers on this: let me know what your favorite Kendrick Lamar song is. I want to see what you guys are saying. But thank you so much for watching this, and we'll catch you in the next one. Thank you for watching the video. It's always a pleasure doing content for you guys. Listen, if you haven't already, subscribe to the channel, because we're doing album reviews, and we actually have our series called Everything We Know, where we take you guys through the whole album rollout of the hottest releases of the year. Not only that, guys, but our Patreon plan is now live. You guys can access that in the bio. I appreciate you guys, and I'll see you on the next one.